When early this morning I indicated my intention and desire to do this series that I called How Chevron Underdeveloped Our Communities, with specific reference to the IRDC and CICD model, I got a couple of likes as well as comments questioning the justification for it. Now, as it is usual in life, you do not expect a uniformity of opinion on issues of this magnitude. However, when care is taken and arguments are canvassed on both sides, and we take enough time to look at them, then we will be able to discern where the right thinking lies. I have titled this series How Chevron Underdeveloped Our Communities, and is indeed still underdeveloping our communities, with particular reference to the two models of development which they have designed and have been running for the past decade and more. Now, some of the agitations, some of the criticisms of those who took a look at the topic at hand, which is how Chevron underdeveloped our communities, have argued that it is not the job of Chevron to develop our communities. And I agree with that. Again, they have argued that Chevron pays its taxes and therefore they have fully discharged their duties and responsibilities towards the Nigerian government. I also agree with that. But both only to the extent that these are general principles. Now, let us compare oranges with oranges and not oranges with cocoyam. It may interest us to know that Chevron workers are paid salary just like the workers of every other company. But in addition to the salaries that they are paid, there is a special hazard allowance that they are paid just for being around the facility because of the health implication it has. These same workers are the ones who have called me to ask me whether it is the duty of Chevron to develop these communities. They have not asked me whether Chevron is not paying their salary on a monthly basis, while they also receive allowances for being exposed to the hazardous nature of chemicals, including gas flaring and water view, that are associated with the exploration of gas and crude oil in the area. One may ask, are the people who are living in these areas not also equally exposed to these environmental hazards? The answer is yes. In Nigeria, there is a concept within academic circles. Indeed, we can say that the academics is perhaps the finest in terms of social life that we have. There is a concept within academic circles called catchment area. The concept of catchment area dictates that after general accommodation of admission of students, special consideration is given to certain areas and indeed the particular area where the university is located. Now, we have a situation in Oloibiri where oil was first struck in Nigeria. The community today is a shadow of itself. I want to respond to those who are of the opinion that Chevron has paid its taxes and therefore is not obliged to do anything more. The world has grown beyond that. And that is why, for instance, I'm sure most of us have heard of the concept of blood diamond. The globe is presently at a stage where businesses are done with human faces. So much so that the world is concerned about the human consideration in the doing or the transaction of business. In the same vein, we must be concerned about the social implication, the health implication, and hazards that people around exploration activities are exposed to. I'm sure that those who live in places like Ubeji, Egbokodo, Ife, and the others know that the impact of rainfall on their cars is not exactly the same with people who live in other areas. And the answer is not far-fetched, and that is because refining activities is very proximate to where they live. As we go on, we will be able to judge on the reason why, beyond business, a company should indeed develop a corporate social responsibility, and it's a global practice. It may also interest us to know that Chevron is a signatory to a lot of conventions, including the Voluntary Principle on Security and Human Rights, which portrays the company as doing excellently well in the area of corporate social responsibility. In the next series, we'll be having in-depth analysis of how Chevron developed these two models and the negative impact it has been having on the social space, the social milieu of these communities with concrete examples. I urge you to listen on as we progress. Thank you very much.